A Devil Comes to Town, Chapter 12. Dr. Fuchs made additional nighttime visits to the parish priest. I would waste no time finding out what they were up to. At the time I could only suspect it, but undoubtedly, each time he came, the devil was tightening his net around the unfortunate victim. For certain, he continued to foster that poor old man's illusion of being able to publish his memoirs, so that in return he could obtain, as I would soon discover, the legal usufruct, that's use of property without owning it, the legal usufruct to the house that he had moved into. He would arrive late at night. I could hear him heavily climb the stairs leading up to the first floor, and then come back down a few hours later. From the window, I could see his figure headed towards the black sedan that was waiting for him across the road. The last time he left later than usual. The light in the pastor's study remained on for some time longer. From my bed, I could see it reflected in the curve of the metal eaves. Around 2 a.m. I fell asleep, but I was immediately awakened by the excited ringing of the bell that the pastor used to summon the housekeeper. It was she, in fact, who knocked at my door a few minutes later. Disheveled, and with a coat thrown over her nightgown, she looked distraught. "Father is dying," she kept shouting. I raced up the stairs, but I was not in time to enter his study before the pastor had already expired. Slumped against the back of his favorite armchair, the one where he had spent thousands of hours writing his memoirs, Father Cristoforo, his hands clawing at the armrests, wore a horrible grimace. His eyes were wide open, and so was his mouth, minus his dentures, which in the violent throes of death had shot out over the desk and rolled onto the carpet. There wasn't a trace of his documents. A single blank sheet of paper lay on the clear surface of his desk, suggesting his intent to write a letter to an unknown recipient. The whole village attended the funeral. I performed the funeral rites as interim parish priest, though on the one hand I hoped to be acting pastor only for the time it would take to be transferred elsewhere. On the other hand, I felt that I could not leave my flock at the mercy of that demon. He too attended the ceremony, the devil, that is, but he kept to himself for the duration of the service. Only at the end, when those present filed past the open grave to toss in a clod of earth, only then did the devil get in line. When his turn came, he dropped a hefty bundle of papers secured with rubber bands onto the casket. The significance of that gesture may perhaps have escaped those in attendance. Some may have likely thought it was a matter of complying with the final wishes of the deceased. It was clear to me, however, that the weighty packet was the work to which Father Cristoforo had devoted himself his entire life, and that he would never have wanted to see it buried with him. An unexpected stroke of luck for Dr. Fuchs, who did not have to pay anything in exchange for what he had obtained.